Nneoma felt the weight of his divine gaze upon her, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was sleeping with a stranger, or worse, a god who could erase her existence with a single thought. She had met him by the river where she went to fetch water every morning. He was tall, with a skin as dark as the night sky, and eyes that shone like the stars. He introduced himself as Oro, the god of the river. At first, Nneoma was afraid, but Oro's kind smile and gentle voice put her at ease. They talked for hours, and she found herself drawn to his wisdom and power. Before she knew it, Oro was visiting her every day. They walked by the river, and he would tell her stories about the gods and the goddesses of old. Nneoma was captivated. One day, Oro asked her to marry him. Nneoma was unsure, but her parents encouraged her to accept. God's wife is a blessed woman, they said. Nneoma agreed, and their wedding was a grand affair. The villagers celebrated long into the night, but as the days passed, Nneoma began to feel suffocated by Ori's divine presence. She longed for the simple life she once knew. She missed her friends and family, and the freedom to make her own decisions. Oro sensed her unhappiness and asked what was wrong. Nneoma confessed her feelings, and Oro listened patiently. "I know I'm not like other men," he said, "but I love you, Nneoma. I will do whatever it takes to make you happy." Nneoma smiled, feeling a sense of relief. Maybe, just maybe, she could find happiness with a god, after all. As they sat together by the river, Nneoma realized that love knows no bounds, not even those of mortality and divinity. She took Oro's hand, and they watched the sunset together. In that moment, Nneoma knew she was exactly where she was meant to be. Nneoma stood by the river, feeling a sense of determination washed over her. She knew she had to uncover the truth about Ori's world and her place in it. She took a deep breath and began her journey, unsure of what lay ahead. As she walked, Nneoma reflected on her life with Oro. She realized that she had been living in his shadow, trying to fit into the role of a god's wife, but she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to her than that. Nneoma started to explore her own interests and passions. She discovered a love for art and music, and she began to express herself in new ways. She felt a sense of freedom and creativity that she had never experienced before. But as Nneoma grew more confident in herself, she faced challenges from Oro and others. They didn't understand her newfound independence, and some even saw it as a threat. Nneoma had to direct difficult relationships, all while staying true to herself. One day, Nneoma met a wise old woman who lived on the outskirts of the village. The woman's name was Akwa, and she possessed a deep understanding of the world and its workings. Akwa took under her wing, teaching her about the power of self-discovery and the importance of staying true to yourself. Nneoma learned valuable lessons from Akwa and began to see herself in a new light. She realized that she didn't have to be defined by her relationship with Oro, and that she had the power to create her own destiny. As Nneoma continued on her journey, she faced many challenges and obstacles, but she maintained, using her newfound self-awareness and confidence to overcome them. She began to see that she was capable of more than she ever thought possible. Nneoma's self-discovery was a transformative experience, one that changed her life forever. She developed stronger, wiser, and more confident, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Nneoma's newfound confidence and self-awareness gave her the courage to confront Ori about the power dynamic in their relationship. She realized that she had been living in his shadow and that their relationship was far from equal. Oro, however, was not willing to surrender his power and control. He saw Nneoma's growing independence as a threat to his authority, and he became controlling. Nneoma refused to back down, and the tension between them grew. She began to see that Oro's power was not just about his divine status, but also about the societal norms and expectations that strengthened his control. As Nneoma found these difficult power struggles, she met others who shared her struggles. Together, they found a support network, sharing experience and strategies for survival. Nneoma realized that she was not alone in her struggles, and that there were others who were fighting similar battles. She found strength in their solidarity, and together they began to challenge states of their situation. Oro, however, would not give up his power without a fight. He used his divine powers to try and maintain control over Nneoma, but she was determined to resist. The battle for power and control between Nneoma and Oro reached a boiling point. Nneoma knew that she had to make a choice, submit to Oro's will and fight for her freedom. Nneoma and Oro's relationship had been forced for a long time. The power struggles and control issues had taken a toll on their love for each other. Nneoma realized that she deserved better. She deserved a love that was equal, respectful, and free from control. She began to see that her relationship with Oro was not healthy for her. As she reflected on their relationship, Nneoma realized that she had lost herself in Oro's world. She had forgotten what she wanted and needed. She took time to rediscover herself and her own desires. Nneoma met someone new, a kind and gentle man named Ikenna. He respected her boundaries and loved her for who she was. Nneoma felt seen and heard in a way she never had before. With Ikenna, Nneoma experienced a love that was different from what she had with Oro. It was a love that lifted her up rather than holding her back. She felt free to be herself, and she knew that she had found something special. Nneoma's journey had been long and difficult, but she had finally found what she was looking for. She had found a love that was true, equal, and respectful. She knew that she would always cherish this love, and she was grateful for the journey that had brought her to this place. And so, Nneoma's story came full circle. She had learned valuable lessons about love, power, and self-discovery. She had grown into a strong and confident woman, and she knew that she would always stand for what she believed in. Thank you for watching this story. What lesson did you learn from this story? Kindly share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Give the story a thumbs up. Subscribe if you've not done that by now, so whenever I post you will be notified. Thank you and bye-bye.